And I'm sure you can hear me, right? Something did not tell me. Have left us in a toilet through the streets of lives. Those green goes every way. Sun God in the afternoon runs traffic across sundials. Sulfate fire, blood in the muscles of the head through fields of mines. Rain falls for centuries. On the avenue of the Catholic Hotel, who could Isabel tell of the conquistadores? The Aztecan cable car slaps through the hot mist, moist embrace of water and track, towards yet another Zocalo. Old Mexico under the tracks makes way for the subway. Mexican Aztlan, Aztec, triangle becomes pyramid, Dos Equis, triple X. At the virgin birth, eat peak, hail Guadalupe 3 times. Go home. The Indian woman, brown and low in the afternoon, whose language was abandoned for divination, whose prophets read the cards, make lottery like pottery. The Indian woman, brown and low, walking in a solar daze. Indian woman, brown and low, in the street, blocking traffic, waiting for money, within the old city of the hemisphere, Los Indios, in the middle of the street, walking slowly from car to car, waiting amid screaming horns, smokestacks, glass tracks, myriad people scattering, chattering, screaming. Los Indios, she walks slowly from car to car, holding a glass of holy water. Along the edge of one land and another, states of concern, spiderweb and arena. What is the common populace, the minds of the atmosphere, the sound waves of voices screaming in the street, scattered blood random behind trains of police, and at the feet of ancient gods. Featured in comic books, Aztec script, animal spirits in their Walt Disney anima, Porky Pig, even Mickey Mouse, the god of mirth, to eat between a pack of dead corn. But then, myriad people float in the air, piled upon a trolley car, sticking out and hanging on, and you laugh as they mingle with the objects on your cafe table. Dos Equis, the traffic like a movie, myriad faces you would never see again. I did not speak to you at first, but when I saw you riding towards us in the distance, I saw a bright band hovering around your head. It looked like a halo, and I was afraid. Okay. Taluk, god of rain. From a story told to me by Bertha Zapata to Jay Wright. Once in a poor tiny village many miles to the south of Mexico City, there stood in the only Zocalo a huge stone sculpture of Taluk, the old god of rain. Taluk had stood there in the center of the village for as long as anyone could remember. Many believe that the village had been built around this huge stone head. One day a helicopter came to the sky and landed on the outskirts of the little village. Government officials and university anthropologists trooped to the great stone head and stood in awe. They talked excitedly among themselves. The mayor arrived. He waited patiently. After much note-taking and many photographs, the men from Mexico City noticed the mayor and began speaking to him. There was to be a great celebration in Mexico City of the country's heritage. They had heard about the great stone head of Taluk existing in the area and were overjoyed to find it in such good condition. They were certain that Taluk would be the star attraction in other celebration in Mexico City. The mayor demurred. There would be no problem in the village donating Taluk to the Museum of Anthropology in Mexico City. Of course, as the gentleman could very well see, there was only a very poor dirt road that led from the village to the main highway. A good road would be necessary to transport the massive stone head all the way to Mexico City. And in no time at all, a road was built. Many workers in a gigantic crane laid Taluk's giant head on 2 flatbed trucks that covered both lanes of the new road. The entire village gathered for the road to say goodbye to their old god. the two trucks got underway except at a snail's pace under the great weight of the massive stone head. Down the road a bit, the villagers had to be gathered. The heavily burdened trucks stopped. The people would not move. They wanted electricity for their village. A team of electricians were dispatched from Mexico City, and at no time at all, the little village had electricity. But when the trucks got underway again, the villagers would still not let them take the huge Olympic head past them. They wanted a school for their children. The government built a school in the tiny village. Again, Talib was on his way, and again the villagers prevented him from going. They wanted running water in their homes. Finally, Talib, the god of rain, was allowed to go. For many days, the two trucks balanced Talib on their twin flatbeds as they rode along at 5 miles per hour from the brand new village. After many long and arduous days, they reached the outskirts of Mexico City. Crowds came out along the route. Many walked joyously alongside. As soon as Talib entered Mexico City proper, it began to rain. It was not rainy season. There was supposed to be no rain, but it rained. It continued to rain, all the way up to the unveiling ceremony for Talib. It rained on. It rained so hard that there was flooding. All of Mexico City was inundated by rain. Meanwhile, the new, tiny, little village rejoiced in the power of Talib, their ancient god, the god of rain. Ruben Bellecourt speaks. The peyote, the gods speak through, they talk to the holy men of the Southwest. They give it to us, and we do it. We put it out there. We are the landlords of the earth. America is on. We are here to see the land is protected and loved, that the air is clean, that the streams are pure, so that we can sit and commune with God. They take the eagle, our sacred symbol, as their own. Yet they kill the Indian. Yet they kill the eagle. Yet they take the eagle as their sacred symbol. We are moving. The civil rights movement. We are taking it far. Wounded Knee is of the time. Wounded Knee is about time. This is called Old Marie, Two Blues of Marie Laveau. And Marie Laveau was what they call a hoodoo woman at the turn of the century, and actually in the 19th century, in fact, all of the 19th century in New Orleans. Very powerful. One. There was a woman in New Orleans, Marie Laveau, the hoodoo queen. Worked much mojo, was also mean. She conjured the government, she fixed the police. She brought back runaway husbands. She sent evil wives running across the land. In the old quarter where the blacks and Creoles did live, she sat before her altar and talked in tongues and stars. Her cobra snake was known to walk. Her cobra snake was known to talk. Down in the old quarter of the blacks, Marie's snake was known to talk. She gave the baddest dances in town, was on the shore of Lake Pontchartrain when the sun went down, when the sun went down. I, Marie, Kanga party, deities. Hey, Marie, give some to me. 2. Down in the old town, old Marie, she know. Down in the old quarter, old Marie, she know. Down in the old town, it rains for days. Down on Lake Pontchartrain, it rains. Say no more, wee wee mama, all along the bayou. When there's fire on the shore, Marie, won't you leave no more. The din of the night train along the night land, along the shore where the Mississippi meets the Pontchartrain. The hoot-doo-hoot, the smokestacks too, never show the dancers here, never show the drummers here. The beacon of the night train, never to reach the fire's eye, never to reach the fire's eye. On the shores of the Pontchartrain, the dancers strain, the singers refrain. She got that black cat She got that black cat bone. She do the black snake moan. All along the bayou, voodoo becomes hoodoo. Say no more, wee wee mama, all along the bayou. When there's fire on the shore, Marie, Don't you weep no more. Somebody made a song out of it. And it's a great one. And you feel you don't belong anywhere. The collective mind of the populace bear down ruined streets, born free and wide to reign, a tie to life or love or happiness or any of those kinds of things. We are tired of being sad with ourselves. The towns we travel bellow up mediocre goddesses. What can we say about people after every dream we've had has a new ending now, and the call from the room at the back of the mind calls for a new tale. In love with all the motions of the world, hatred of none. His body is still and warm. It floats over waters warm in their flow, across his lips and closed eyes. The sun is a big warm hug from above. Then you fall, recede back behind your body, as if another person got up and walked out of your body. You can feel the smooth lips, perfectly composed, the contours of maybe even a kiss. The sounds of the day fall into place, play off of each other like symphony, all the music there is in the air. Even the buildings make sounds. Even the building makes sounds. It grunts and groans, and stretches its joints when it thinks no one is listening. But I am listening. I hear my heart beat with such love for only me, you too. The world is a pool of water I recede into. Mush I would eat, mush. I would fall into warm mush. The lips so much. I like your mush, lips, mine, mush together. Yeah. Here it is, the space-time we have been looking for, searching. Everything goes on as usual. Yet he has gone back where time is liquid, able to be touched and caressed and soothed. In love with all the motions of the world, hatred of none. This is a poem called Long Aid K7, the Newark Home Spirit for Amiri Amina Baraka. And this poem was about Amiri Baraka at a particular time in his existence. Long Aid K7, black phonetics over black radio, black talk and lucky numbers too. The bus driver is dressed in red, black, and green. Jazz plays on his bus as we ride into Newark. The police car says, observe police week, May 10th, 17. That's now, election week. The downtown theater marquee talks about the liberation of L.B. Jones. A white man in a police uniform rips a negligee from a black lady's body. Her skin glistens. Mad, white man. Walking through ruins of inner city up past downtown towards the Hall of Records, the hill upon which rests Spirit House, in red, black, and green metaphor, symbology of Egypt, African North, with downright down-home images of protecting of the home, an Ankh, the eye and flight, a bird of Egyptian eternal vigilance, hieroglyphs, cheap Christian symbology, across from Father Divine, the old order. On the streets around, shells of buildings torn and smoked down, abandoned, as if a huge war was going on between the Pope and the African magician of the New Art. Casualties, black and white, populate the streets of their pre-war framed great homes. Resplendent in the ghetto, the players and hustlers come and go, pink-suited, blonde wigs, plaid shoes and orange pants, polka dots slapped in white brims. Walking across the plains of New York, mowed down by the sword of urban renewal, the brand new jailhouse looms adjacent to Sterling Street, an testament to the power of the little king of the blessed word. Onto the campus of Redwood State View, where a black and white band plays voodoo child. They crowd, they try, half naked they twine, run amok, sit in circles like ancient ones. In a derelict men's hotel, the Jackson 5 and millions of TV screens, short-circuiting the airwaves. blow minds with bold beauty of vibrations and dance and synchronized song. For the workers, for the election of Black Newark, a soul session, food and dance, a new ceremony, from Afro-Lower to Electro-America and sanctified Crystal Church. Young blacks dance to the music, sit down to Baraka's words. We are without a mythology in print. The white folks base their thing on the Greek myths. Even Batman and Superman, we need that too. We emphasize the achievements of the Maasai, the Ibu, the Bantu, the Watusis, our positive self-image. We are James Brown people trapped in a Lawrenceville society. We are about to rob the biggest bank in New Jersey. What time is it? Nation time. Well, that's what time it was. I guess it's still nation time. Ghetto Fathers in Troy. This is actually the introductory poem to this play that we put on in San Francisco that I wrote. Running riot, loot and burn, nightsticks banging on concrete curbs, white and black helmets of the high priestess gang, white fluorescent shining black faces, sneakers glowing black light, chains, thuds, sonic whistles, Congo drums, red sirens looping incandescent ether. Thud of wood against flesh, 2x4, Mr. 5x5, shards of flesh, Charlene, human scream, Caledonia, boogie, Catatonia. Buster and Beulah, Othello and Desdemona, Vigo and Professor Shakespeare, Ghetto Follies, Public Bliss Synergy, The Blood Bank, Luncheonette, King Kong, Tar Baby, Griffin Rex versus the Black Mob. Black Mob Rape Supermarket, Black Mob Rape Supermarket, the gorgeous cornucopia room. Uncle Tom, eyes flashing orbits, 45 caliber pistols, splitting teeth and blood, old-time gag routines, minstrel rain of midnight sticks, traceability, neon ricochet. The niggas still laughing, oh Sambo, oh Sambo, oh Sambo. Rhino singing, do-wide, echo-flex hallways. I love you, baby, till I die. Serenading a wine jug, doing the wine. The radio ad comes on, no money, no money, no money, no money. You ain't got to have no money, no money. Ain't that right, Slim? Slim say, no, I mean, yeah. Cops delivering rifles, machine guns, bazookas, and mortars for no money. They are moonlighting in the ruckus at midnight in the ghetto for no money, no money, no money. Down, Negroes dripping blood, walking arm in arm into charity hospitals, concessionaires selling their wares, jukebox and waiting room, vending machines selling beer and Joe Louis milk, Malcolm X shaking hands, holding his chest, Conrad's #1 TV show on Nielsen ratings, the crisis of the black intellectual is #2, limited nuclear warhead devices originate mutant species on the island of the frozen garbage, giant rats and giant roaches fuck and suck. Black mob convoy takes the highway towards South Africa as an atomic bomb explodes down the street. Please, I said once at a reading, shoes on the floor, and people got an attitude, but give me a break, if you don't mind, baby. Azania, this is a poem about South Africa. And Azania is South Africa. Azania for B, we. Nomad Azania, black homeland, shantytown, captive Bantu stand. Zulu of the Bell, Bantu of the Transvaal, encourage the whites to stay. Encourage the whites to stay. Black, yellow, brown, Azanian faces, black Afrikaans, death of third world races, abandoned to apartheid by the free. Black death floating, gold standard. Black death floating, gold standard. For children of color, Boer genocide, the free world consumes death from apartheid. Rows of little coffins of bare plywood, the demand exceeds supply. The demand exceeds supply. Dead black souls in the diamond rings of June, vows below bloody Azanian moon. Israel, speculation, Afrikaans, golems by the Krugerland. Golems by the Kugelland. Daughter of Lasagna, she's walking to Botswana. Daughter of Lasagna, she's walking to Botswana. Daughter of Lasagna, her feet are swollen, she's walking towards freedom. Daughter of Lasagna, her feet are bloody, she's walking into freedom. Gandhi's ghost attacks the golems of Iran. The widow's children free the Gandhi stands. Strange fires burn apartheid beyond control. Lasagna, for thee, we. Lasagna, for thee, we. No man's black, brown, yellow, and no man's land. No Krugerrand, no Bantustan, no apartheid, no genocide, no. Revolutionary Lasagna, yes, for thee, we, yes we. Now there was a poem that we would read at these readings in San Francisco, of which I'm surprised that there are not very many in New York, where people would have these mass readings for a particular cause, one or another. To Bob Kaufman. Looking down along San Francisco Avenue, sometimes I can see the future, the homes, the cars rolling side by side towards the horizon. I was afraid of your pain. He kept it going. He helped keep the spirit of poetry happening. It was Bob Kaufman on the scene, snapping his fingers and swaying to some internal random jazz, or sitting and noodling in his own time to some poet reading, at one of those endless celebrations of poetry, or benefit reading for whatever appended cause, because every cause is a cause for poetry. I was afraid of your pain. I saw in the San Francisco sky the weight he carried, his fierceness, the tiger in his eyes, the Zen strength in his frail frame, his will to live. This is called Big Phyllis, Poor Little Phyllis. This is a poem about, well, she was something else. She was something else. Phyllis Henderson Dickerson cared for everyone. Wherever her brothers and sisters were, she could find you by telephone or letter. Big Phyllis, always overcoming strife, she suffered and loved her full share of life. From Beacon to Schenectady of New York's Hudson River Valley, she wended her way through pain and bliss. Big Phyllis, Big Phyllis, Big Phyllis. She was a sojourner in this life of the Lord. And this is called Love in Outer Space, the Sun Ra and the Orchestra. Sun Ra sings the most beautiful version of this on this album from A&M called Purple Moon, Love in Outer Space. Sunrise and love ever after reaches out to a lover like me again. Sunrise and love, everlasting. Sunrise and love in its splendor speaks to me in metaphysical harmony. We move in celestial harmony, ever upward to delight in the mysteries. Sunrise, love, everlasting. Sunrise, love for the world to see. Sunrise in outer space, love for everybody. Sunrise in outer space, love for everybody. Sunrise in outer space, love for every face. Songs. Let's see. Am I going to read some of this? Yes, I am. I'm going to read some of California 13. California 13. To rise as the rulers of the world, do in place of the darkness before dawn. The prehistoric moan of the long-distance trailer trucks, the silent birds awaiting God's brilliant hello, facing east above Berkeley trees. Asprey Avenue, a patch of connecting highway, is a village of philosophers' theory, where nothing exists from pure logic. The mountain and sea, divination on extremes, the driver meditation. The numbers of travel remain and greater the same. California 13. Tobacco and fresh ground coffee, incense wafts through the many rooms of the pale green shingle obelisk. My television set, microwave oven, broadcast comely maidens performing pornographic aerobic exercises. The pigfoot breakfast in pink blue light. Through the living room, through the macrame curtains, through the eastern sun, through the ornamental palm trees, car and trucks appear and disappear between brown shingle and pale stucco, spanning a distance 3 inches wide. The cars are 7/8 of an inch long, a pedestrian is 5/16 of an inch tall. Upon the double yellow line, flashing yellow, pulsing reds. Lines in the air lanes above the routes by land or sea, underground in a secret San Francisco city. Who will take your place? Who will take your place? Up through Berkeley trees, beyond the Grand White Hotel, where upon the mountain crest, California 13 above Oakland, running with the silver gleam of the bay and the distant mountain range across the waters, heading for LA. Past the windmills and valley, the breadbasket of America, agribusiness cornucopia, Highway 5 in the midst of nowhere, no cities or radio, only rest stops and gasoline, to the rise of the grapevine and the descent, a cloud that seems to be the aftermath of an atomic bombing, presents the famous atmosphere of Los Angeles, where night sky and city lights become an immense bedspread covering a city that has demanded our presence.
All right.
Spiraling down Los Feliz Avenue from the mountain of Route 5, LA, laid out like a complete game of solitaire. Vernal eternity, Los Angeles. 4 lanes from LAX to Hollywood, La Brea Avenue ranging towards the mountains of the east. Sub-decibels float a metallic rubber, a blue haze above 2-story tops. The fertile valley pierces El Camino, ancient road to Old Mexico. The Hollywood Hills flame, orange and black abstract on the high horizon. He says to the driver, "This afternoon I will read poetry at the George Sand bookstore while LA burns." He left for the weekend in LA a day early, sundown in Del Mar. Amtrak coming out of the gleaming Pacific. Del Eid lax, the ticket said. The train roared blankly through the night, the moon invisible over the shiny waters. The names of the towns: Oceanside, San Clemente, San Juan Capistrano, Santa Ana, Fullerton, home of the California Angels, like a cheer from the traditional conductor. He came into Union Station. He called a number in Beverly Hills. No reply. He walked across the street and waited for the bus that would take him to Hollywood, where everything is negotiable. They met on Hollywood Boulevard amid throngs in a canyon of fluorescence. She and her entourage looked like movie stars. They saw a film full of sex and murder. Afterwards, they talked on the boulevard as if nothing had happened. He thought, that's what makes pornography, violence. It is not enough to lust. They parted where they met. The 91 bus down Sunset Boulevard towards Beverly Hills. Big Bill U-turned in his Rolls convertible. Jim Brown, a behemoth on his balcony. An old black man in blackface and white lips, top hat and tails, lip syncs to the Jackson 5 on a boombox. He sings every part and dances like Michael. A crowd collects. The old house stands straight as if there is no steep West Hollywood hill. The wooden porch creaks a greeting, the screen door slams. No one home in California. What next, he thinks? The Troubadour Bar, the Roxy, Ben Frank's, Joe Allen's, the Side Pocket, Figaro, the New World. He looks down North Palm Avenue, the blue dirigible of the design center superimposed over the invisible airport, Pacific Ocean sky, actual distance. It is about business, she said, arms angled across her black, feather ghost-faced slacks. her big framed monogram sunglasses intersecting her oracular glass of white wine, her wide, beautiful mouth, American teeth, the music and the money, the blues casino atop the bank building, you stare across L.A. Gas, clouds, glare, towers, rooftops, candy cars, trees, smog alert, smog alert, smog alert, rapid red pulsations. They dine at the Chain Gang Barbecue, located in the parking lot, off of Mini Mall, off of La Cienega. One patio table with a white umbrella among the cars. Tourists come requesting wolf tickets. They settle for pig meat and scarlet sauce. And you asked me what I heard? I heard she's taking long shots in L.A. I heard she's taking long shots in L.A. The movie was about some brothers who were making a movie, only they couldn't agree on a script. I heard she's singing in L.A. She's singing in L.A. The movie became a symposium about blacks in the film industry, only they couldn't find a hall. On Sunset Boulevard, she rolled down a limo window and hung her big titties naked in the traffic. She went into Roxy and bit an ear off the waitress. Then at Donna Summer's billboard, she stood underneath like a bad girl. She lost her chops in a white powder room, soul shot to begin to croon. She's singing ballads in L.A. She's singing ballads in L.A. And she drove her slender body in her slender oriental automobile through the wide and vacant night streets of deep L.A. He sat beside her, a glass of ice in his hand, a quart of good old Jack Daniels, sipping and riding, studying her sharp profile, her lean leg, working the pedals, her skirt curled around her thighs, illuminated by moisture and the angled sheen of the lights of the street. Her voice so mixed into the muted soul of the radio as to make it another mix altogether. A few stops to make in leisure, and then, only then, in the light of the night, the machine that conveys, the machine that sings, the machine, the bliss of silent lovers in a vacant city that exists for only them. It is a liquid of her mouth, the glass of warm, fluid, glossing teeth and tongue, as a mouth to enter unguents, what he would drink, inhale, the 100-degree liquid heat returns to within her. In the LA night, some singer singing about loving, and he's black and excited, and they're excited and black and white and black and whatever combination of mucus and skin and hair and edges that cling like lips becoming one sealed between suction and postponed exhalation. And that breath of good whiskey and the connecting fluid are for femaleness for all and whatever. You gotta ride. You gotta ride. You gotta ride. This is the party. 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 Yeah, I live in New York, LA. Manhattan's my night, Hollywood my day. Yeah, I live in New York, LA, flying cross town and greet the scene in my supersonic limousine. Hey there, sweetheart, come in and step inside. Night-long boulevard, gonna take a ride? This is the party. This is the party. This is the party. This is the party. You gotta ride. You gotta ride. You gotta ride. You gotta ride. Santa Monica Boulevard, West Hollywood to the sea. The number 4. She's living inside a novel, passing the time away, living inside a novel on a bus in sunny LA. She's reading of romance and wizards, of karma and fate. 700 pages of destiny on a slow bus to the sea. Santa Monica and Venice Beach, weekenders biking, walking, jogging, skating. Disco skaters rocking backwards, tank tops, halter tops, and shorts. Cradling boom boxes like babies, rolling sand and surf, the horizon above our heads, the far east due west. Beach blondes frolic, topless surf, white noise of Malibu. Newport and Laguna, beach towns along the first highway of California, intersecting the endless boulevard. You came from the edge of nowhere, and you are out there in the California night, standing on the street 100 miles long, staring down the lanes of light, reluctant to let the night go into tomorrow. You gotta ride. You gotta ride. You gotta ride. Past Disneyland, an acre of strawberries, clumps of field workers dressed like Chicanos, picking fruit beyond midnight, picking in the midst of our slime. Stone runs a laundromat called Wash. Big old black man from Texas, 10 years. All the black people moved over the mountains after the tidal wave. White folks still want to live all up on the water. He drives a 7-year-old Cadillac slowly down Endless Boulevard. San Juana, the future of America. Sunken highways, speeding cars, multinational neon signs to right and left. Multinational neon signs to right and left. Giant stores at eye level, luminous in the canyon of night. Yellows and reds, whites and blues, a valley of lights flowing down the boulevard of the future. They were roommates in La Mesa, some obscure mini-city in Greater San Juana. A two-tiered off-white complex about a swimming pool. Blinding sunlight exaggerating the pastels towards a hyper-filmic reality. The Latina and the black man, often placid in the placid night. Two drunken, considerate clowns amid the lush vegetation. Lights in the windows framed by bowls and flowers. The unattainable Dog Mountain looming stupidly beyond the hiss of the freeway, invisible through trees. Music from the mountain regions of South America, panpipes and turning guitars, bush drums, the utter silence that constructs that music. Dinner somewhere on twilight El Cajon Avenue, the procession of cars in the California night, dancing in loud public rooms with strangers. They knew no one and did not want to. They danced and drank alone. A party for two, lasting. Californians, anonymous. They met Professor Speedo at the John Wayne Airport. A slight confusion in his itinerary. He has a suitcase the same size as he, 5'8" by 3 feet, only sideways moving, both all in black. They take him to topless San Juana. They observe the unveiling ritual solemnly. They observe the unveiling ritual solemnly, drink rum, and discuss narrative. They confirm their mission to discern the mystery of the lyric, coo, coo, coo. It's not really. Coo, coo, coo. Coo, coo, coo. La Paloma. There also is the important question of whether Professor Speedo wants to join the Don Miller fan club. Don Miller is so beautiful. Each night he gives up himself selflessly to the patrons of the La Jolla Village Inn. He stands before his cocktail lounge organ and gazes out into the drunken darkness, thinking of which song would please us the most. The Don Miller fan club met 3 afternoons a week at Salazar's by the Sea, awashing pictures of margaritas, bowls of nachos, drunk on cheese, the Cuckoo, La Paloma community choir singing along to Don Miller on La Jolla's cliff top, raw earth bluff in California darkness. The electric pre-recorded congas go berserk on an upbeat rendition of Send in the Clowns. Don Miller is beside himself with emotion. La Latina Saint Isabel, bent in supplication before her altar, above the freeway that flows like a river. In the distance, the impartial Dog Mountain, the Santo of lost causes and lost objects, lost poets and news radio. An altar with bird figures and a real nest. Don Miller sings My Way down the endless boulevard of Southern California. Tiny halos framed by night trees, flashing yellow into the distance. I had hoped to meet you in Salazar's by the Sea in La Jolla, our old meeting place, where we could drink and talk about Don Miller above the white noise of the mob. But trains and planes rarely coincide, and I leave this realm with only love in my heart for you. The number 30, then the number 4, 10 blocks to downtown, and the 32, straight along the descending road, the border of San Juana, crossing by foot into another world, California towns, Baja, Continuum.
Ah!
spent a lot of time writing it. This is great. I'm getting to read through this book, coming more to the present. Third Eye World. Third Eye World. Faces in the street, in a financial district or ghetto red zone, the enmity of casual citizenry. Faces of color recall another land. The mind can hear the music, pentatonic or percussive, and song, the relationship of the official language. Everyone can sing. The soul of an Egyptian chanteuse, of a Bangkok songstress, or a mambo chorale in Brazil. The ecological harmonies of the pygmies, or the subterranean highlights of Azania, Namibia, Zimbabwe. Third world and American, English-speaking with roots in ancestral lands, like everybody else just about. Belonging to a new world, yet of an older world, but with perception of both, keen in the mind that gives another world, conscious, even cosmic, the third eye, astral base of the third world. People of Color is the name of this one. People of color, what in color to keep us alive? Musical in the streets, color on a plane. If we say third world American, what could we be talking about? Black elk and Buddha, capoeira and Tai Chi, good love and jazz and oldies and goodies from R&B, tango, besame mucho, getting down in the streets to survive with the people, low ride and disco skating, zen afros hanging out in the music. Oh, beautiful cuisines of third world fairs, alchemical mamas making the scrumptious out of the mundane. There must be something to hold us together that is above us all, yet a part of us all. Perhaps it is that perception of what it is to be here and not be here, to be walking down America Boulevard and at the same time be in Asia, Africa, Latin America, the Caribbean, or the Pacific Islands. Third eye, a perception of magic hovering over us all from the four corners of the earth, speaking American, communicating like no others of the ancient third world kingdoms, a world spirit, not of economic or politics, but of a modern cultural unity that will get us over together. We are our own audience. We are the neo-old world discovered amid the codes of sailors. We tap into our ancestral lines through the third eye of the third world beyond text tones, monographs, and definitive works. Working within the blood of the bloods, the faces of the hued contrast and neo-national perception, beyond boundary, beyond personal history. And this is called Santo Station. Blackness and light, as in the first days, the elemental backdrop of eternity. Eyes looking within, beacons of the soul plunged towards the heart, a universal fluid between all eyes. Santo Station, eyes of the invisible through the auras of objects, botanical life forms, an entity of this life we all agree upon taking place at this station between worlds, vortex of mercy, border of hope, the implication of desire, combustion of fear.